weekend in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's going to be a great event. It's called the Carolina Gloves, and it's going to be going on here at the, what is it called, the Freedom Courts Complex. They have about 200 and some fighters here. It's going to be an extraordinary event here in Fayetteville. So listen, if you want to see the fights, you will be able to see them live on our AK Promotions network at akpromotions.org. If you want to see some great action now, I'm sure it's going to be probably 100 fights almost, right? It's going to be a lot all weekends, 2 rings. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys should go check it out, akpromotions.org, on our live streaming network. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have a couple fighters. It's going to be doing their thing this weekend. Well, at least we have a fighter, and then we have a trainer. First trainer, let's have you walk up here real quick. Tell us your name.
Hercules Head.
Hercules?
Yes, sir.
Did you say Hercules?
Yes, sir.
As in like in Greek mythology?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So why did they call you Hercules? Why do you think they named you Hercules?
I mean, look at these biceps.
Look at him. He said, look at these guns. That tells the story right there. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing here this weekend. Come a little closer to the mic.
I got 2 kids that's fighting today. This weekend,
Right.
12 and 13.
Okay.
They come out of Howe, New Jersey. It's Howe Pow Headstrong Boxing.
Right.
And they are competing in their first tournament. This is actually our second time competing, but this is our first tournament.
First tournament. Why boxing?
By boxing, because boxing has done a lot of great things for me. I started off boxing at 18 years old in North Carolina, this state here. I started off boxing in Jacksonville, North Carolina, because I'm a Marine.
Okay. Thanks for your service. You're a Marine now?
Once a Marine, always.
Okay, got it, man. Right. Right, yeah.
So I started off in the Marine Corps. I made the Marine Corps team. I'm a Hall of Fame boxer with the Marine Corps. A couple of my brothers is going to be out here that's also Hall of Fame boxers with the Marine Corps. And boxing done a great deal for me, and I wanted to give back to the community. So with that being said, my best outlet to get back to the community and reach the youth is boxing.
What is your process, though, in bringing in these fighters, these young fighters, let's say off the street? What is the process for you kind of introducing them as well as transforming them from perhaps what they were on the street?
Well, the first thing I do is when I see these young fighters or whatever, I sit them down and I tell them when they come into my gym, everything that happened to them outside or who they thought they were outside doesn't apply when they come in the gym. As soon as they walk through the door, I only look at them as champions, treat them as such. Then they inherit, depending on their age, they inherit little brothers or older brothers, right? Because it's a family. And I tell them, anybody that's younger than you, you inherit them as your little brothers. And you're going to treat them accordingly. You're going to make sure that they're straight. And if you don't make sure they're straight, I'm going to get on you, right? And then the big brothers.
So you create like a little partnership, like a pal type of deal.
Yes. Well, it is a pal because it's how pal. But at the end of the day, I make it known that it's a family. And then to make sure there's no cliques when they first, after I have my conversation with them, they go into the ring with all their teammates, right? And I establish that from the first day too, to make sure they know it's a team. It's not a class. It's not a fitness thing. It's a team, right? And when they go into the ring, they introduce themselves. So it's introductions, right? Your first 3 weeks, if you knew, your first 3 weeks is a gimme, right? Then after your 3rd week, I will ask you, I'll point at a random teammate and I say, what's his name?
Right.
Or what's her name?
Right.
What's their strengths? What their weaknesses?
Right.
And if you don't know, after 3 weeks, the whole team get punished. Right?
Okay.
They have to do push-ups, suicides, or whatever the case may be. So that atmosphere makes them, hey, what's your name? You know, what school you go to? What's your last name? And it makes them pay attention when they do sparring to see their teammates' strengths and weaknesses. So, and then they form that camaraderie and they come together.
So real mentorship. You know, so are you talking to them about fighting in the sense of what happens after fighting? What if, everybody who's fighting will not be a world champion, right? Are you having that conversation about the what are you going to get out of this right now that's going to help take you to that next level or be whatever you want to be in life? What kind of conversations are you having with the fighters?
I don't necessarily talk to them about fighting like, to be like pro or anything like that. I don't even mention those. I just mention when you come in here, you got to be hungry to train. And that's the end of the boxing aspect. When you come in here, you got to be hungry and you got to train. the other part of it is when they come in there, besides me hammering down on family, part of family is if you're young, I'm going to check on your grades, right? So I get a letter from the parents giving me permission to go to the schools and make sure I can talk to their guidance counselors and teachers, right? And then I check their grades.
You become a father figure then, more than a mentor, almost like a father figure.
Something like that, you know? And then when I check their grades, I bring it up when they come to practice. I had them come to my office. If they did good, I praise them. I give them a little reward, stuff like that. If they did bad, I talk to them and I ask them, is this the best you can do? If it's the best that you can do, it is what it is. You just got to try harder. If it's not the best they can do, and they look down or whatever the case may be, and I know it's not the best they can do, I tell them they better change it, right? And I will do follow-ups, and I do. I'm a man of my word. So by me doing that, checking their grades, and then talking to their parents and making sure the home life is good, because I have people with both parents. I have single families and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I treat them all the same. So I ask both parents. I ask the single mom, the single dad, how's home life, right? And if they tell me something that's crazy, I address it with that fighter, right? So it's more than boxing, right? It's life. So when I do introductions, right? At the end of the day, that's public speaking. I assign somebody each week to be the team captain. So that gets you out of your shell.
Confidence.
Team captain, you're in charge of the stretchers. You come back to me and tell me, hey, the team is done. The team's ready for the workout. So that builds confidence. I teach them how integrity, right? Because at the end of the day, if you messing up, and your teammate tells you you're messing up, or you messing up in your grades, or I ask you about your grades, you got to have integrity, because when I confront you, you're either gonna lie to me or you're not. So it teaches you integrity.
Well, tell me something here, because you seem to be really, really entrenched with this. You seem to be really motivated and inspired by it. What happened in your life that made this something that you needed to come back to?
That's a good question. I actually thought I was done with boxing in 2010, but I knew when I had him that I wanted to show him.
Is this your son?
Yeah, this is my son. I wanted to show him some things that boxing done for me that was great. It gave me a family, even though I had a family in the Marine Corps, and I come from a good family. But it showed me so much, and I wanted to give the kids, not just him, but the kids within my community, an opportunity to get that togetherness, right? And boxing like straight away from me, but it kind of fell in my lap. Like, God bless me. So at my job, we have the PAL, and at the time, nobody was really running the boxing program like it used to be. Right. So at that moment, I was like, I get to that. It's one of my dreams, but I get to that. I just want to focus on my patrolling aspect or whatever. But then one day, somebody came up to me and said, hey, listen, the instructor for the boxing program is leaving. He's going to Virginia. Are you willing to take it over? I was like, all right, yeah, I'm all about it. And I would go there on my own time, and train these kids. And now I got blessed that my administration looks out for me to make sure that I'm able to train these kids.
We need more people like you in the communities. There's no doubt about it. So many shootings and different things like that are going on, and this right here program will help, keep these kids out of that. Tell me a little bit about your son here.
So he's a young motivator. He comes from a motivated dad. Coach Herc. He's very quiet. He's very smart. He's good in school.
Got a cool haircut too, man. I'm missing. I need those waves. I can tell you that right now. It looks really cute.
The thing I like about him is that he's a listener. If you tell him, hey, you need to do this to go from point A to B, he's going to do it and not stray away. And that's what I like about him. So
How are you feeling about the fights this weekend?
I'm excited about the fight.
You're excited. You get all that energy when you get in that ring. I bet you everything changes, doesn't it? Yeah, you ready to go? All right, good job. What's your name one more time?
Hercules.
Hercules. How could I forget a name like Hercules? I have a simple name. It's Johnny Davis Live, guys. And we're right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, here for the Carolina Boxing. It's going to be a great event all weekend. We're going to continue to talk with with a few of these future champions, right? This weekend, guys, we're going to be streaming it live on our pay-per-view AK Promotions Network. You can order this at akpromotions.org. Go check it out. They're going to have 2 rings, separate cameras. You're going to be able to choose exactly what you want to see. Hercules and your son. Hey, thanks so much for joining me right here on Johnny Davis Live. We'll be back a little shortly, and we'll talk to you. Bye-bye.